KEIR Starmer and Emmanuel Macron have agreed to share more intelligence and carry out more joint operations to dismantle smuggling routes further upstream. The Prime Minister held talks with Mr. Macron at the Élysée Palace after meeting some of Team GB's Paralympic athletes on Thursday morning. KEIR and Mr. Macron agreed on the importance of further strengthening the relationship between London and Paris, Downing Street said. The Prime Minister said of his meeting with the French President, "We discussed the situation in Ukraine, as you would expect, the situation in the Middle East, bilateral issues in terms of trade and defense and security, but also the wider reset that I want in relation to our relations, not just with France, but with the EU in general. They were the topics that we discussed as part of the reset, rebuild and making sure that our number one mission, which is growing the economy, is absolutely central to everything that we do." A Downing Street spokesperson said, the leaders reflected on the success of the European Political Community meeting, held at Blenheim Palace last month, and agreed on the importance of further strengthening and broadening the close relationship between the UK and France in the coming months. Moving to the shared challenge of small boat crossings, the Prime Minister welcomed the joint action between the UK and France, and the leaders agreed to do more together to dismantle smuggling routes further upstream and increase intelligence sharing. It comes after a visit to Berlin, where the UK agreed to more joint operations to hunt smugglers moving boats and equipment to the French coast. KEIR and Mr. Macron were among the audience at the Paralympic Games opening ceremony in the French capital on Wednesday evening. The Prime Minister's visit to Paris follows talks in Berlin with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in a sign of his desire to seek close relations with key figures in the EU. On the first leg of his trip, KEIR said he was not reversing Brexit as he set out plans for a new treaty with Germany, including deeper links in several areas. He agreed that a deal with Germany would be in place by the end of the year following talks with Mr. Scholz, and also noted it was a once-in-a-generation opportunity. The two countries also agreed to develop a joint action plan to tackle illegal migration. An agreement on youth mobility has been suggested by Brussels and could be a key demand in any negotiations. That could be seen as a step towards the restoration of free movement, and KEIR said he did not have plans for a youth mobility deal, and he had clear-eyed lines on the future relationship with the EU. Germany's ambassador to the UK has said an agreement with the European Union on youth mobility should be in the British interest. Miguel Berger told BBC Radio 4's Today programme, "There are many misunderstandings about what youth mobility really means. It is not freedom of movement, it has nothing to do with migration. It means that young people, who are really those who have most lost because of Brexit, that they have the possibility to come to the European Union, to come to the United Kingdom, for a limited amount of time, and then they will leave. So, it's enhancing the possibilities for young people. That's what we want. And it's not only Germany, I can tell you all the 27 in the European Union want to enhance that."